Morning and welcome back to today's literature class. Before we begin today, let us recapitulate what we have learned in the previous class. Let's have a quick recap of the previous class. As the scene begins, we see the entry of Prospero with Ariel. He asked Ariel the time of the day and also about Alonso, the king, and his followers. Ariel explained about their pathetic condition, and he said he feels sorry for them all, especially the good Gonzalo. Prospero too sympathizes with them and asks Ariel to set them free. Ariel, the so closely associated spirit of Prospero, moves away from there to release Alonso the king and his followers, promising Prospero that he will fetch them all in front of his master Prospero. As Ariel moved from there, Prospero thought of thanking all the spirits who helped him in one way or the other. He thanked the spirits of hills, he thanked the spirits of rivers and lakes, and the spirits of the groves. He also thanked the spirits that stand on the sand with their foot but leaves no footprints on it, who used to chase the ebbing or the retreating tides of the sea and run away when the tides return back. After that, he thanked the demi-puppets, that is, the tiny creatures who make green rings on the grass when they dance in a circle under the moonlight, and such grass the sheep refuse to eat. Then he thanked the spirits whose pastime is to take delight in growing midnight mushroom, who are so delighted to hear the sacred sound of the evening bell from the church. Let's continue with the soliloquy of Prospero. By whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the moontide sun. Prospero here says, by your aid. By whose aid over here means, dear spirits, by your aid, by your helps, weak masters though ye be, even though you are very weak as well as very small, though you are weak, though you seem to be very small, I have bedimmed the moontide sun. Moontide sun over here means sun at noon. I have dimmed the sun at noon. The moon the sun that was shining very brightly during the noon hours. With your aid, I was able to make their bright light into a dim light. So you helped me in that way. Though you appear to be very weak, though your size is very small, at the same time, with your assistance, with your help, I was able to make the sun light to be dim, and called forth the mutinous winds. With your assistance I caused, that's the meaning of call forth here. I was able to cause the mutinous wind, the so strong storms. I was able to create the strong storms with your assistance, and it fixed the green sea and the assured world. Assured over here means, the meaning is explained there, very bright blue roof. The meaning of the word vault over here is roof. So what do you understand by the blue roof? Blue roof is the sky. Let's see once again what he says. Though you seem to be, my spirit, though you seem to be very weak, very small in size, I was able to do great work with your assistance. I was able to dim the sun during the noon hours. That is one of the great things that you were able to do me. And called forth, I was able to create, I was able to cause mutinous wind, such a strong and powerful storms I was able to create by your assistant. And with your assistant, it makes the green sea and the assured world set to roaring fire. Roaring fire over here means, fire means the lightning. He says that he was able to create a war, roaring war. He was able to create war between the green sea and the blue sky, between the sea and the sky. With your assistance, Prospero says to the spirits that he was able to create such a powerful war. Further he says, to the dread rattling thunder have I given fire. Yes, I was able to create war between the green sea and the blue sky with your assistance. And rifted, I was able to split. To rift means to split, to break. I was able to break Jove's stout oak. Stout oak over here means very robust and powerful oak tree. I was able to, once again let's see, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. His own bolt over here means thunderbolt of Jupiter. I was able to split the trees by your assistance. By your great help, I was able to split even the robust oak tree. That is what he speaks here. I have split open the robust oak tree with Jupiter's thunderbolt. With the help of Jupiter, with the help of the thunder out of Jupiter, I was able to split the very mighty and powerful, that is a robust oak tree he speaks over here. And the strong based promontory. Promontory over here means almost like a cliff. No, the great rocks that is facing towards the sea land. Maybe like a cape. Let's see once again what he speaks over here. The strong based promontory, how I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and the cedar. He says that the pine tree as well as the cedar trees that grow on the cliff, I was able to shake the cliff with your assistant, with your powerful assistant. Though you seem to be very small in the size, with your great work, I was able to shake the rocks, and which made or uprooted the pine as well as the strong cedar trees. Once again, let's see what he speaks here. I have made the firm rooted rocks shake with the sudden fear. The rocks started shaking with the sudden fear, and have uprooted pine and cedar. Pine and cedar are the trees that grow over there in the hilly areas. The powerful deep-rooted trees of pine and cedar, I was able to uproot because of your powerful deed. He says, because of your assistant. Though you seem to be very small and very weak, with your powerful assistant, I was able to shake even the rocks, the cliff, the promontory, and the roots of pine and cedar, I was able to uproot. Slaves at my command have waked their sleepers, opened and led them forth by my so potent art. Potent art over here means my powerful magic art. Prospero now here says, by my powerful art, the graveyards were kept open, the sepulchres were opened, and the dead bodies came out from there. So Prospero once again speaks about the power of his magic. He says that with his magic power, he was able to open the graveyard from which the dead bodies came forth. Once again, let's see that part. At my command, have waked their sleepers. Sleepers over here means the dead bodies that ever sleep, the permanent, the eternal sleep of the dead bodies over there inside the sepulchre. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, opened, the graveyards were opened, and it permitted and let them come forth. It permitted the graveyard, the closed graveyard permitted the dead bodies to come out from there. The dead bodies that were supposed to be for the eternal sleep, that came out. Graveyard permitted their bodies to come forth by my potent magic, by my very, very powerful magic power. But this magic, though it is very, very powerful, though the magic of Prospero is very powerful, Prospero now says, but this rough magic, the harsh magic, the rough magic, I here abjure, I am going to give up by now. He says that he is going to completely end up, he is going to give up all his magic power by now. By this rough magic, here I abjure. Abjure means I give up. And when I have required some heavenly music, when I need some heavenly music, when I get some heavenly music, I will end up this magic power of mine. That is what Prospero says. Prospero praised in the previous sentence, we saw Prospero praised the power of his magic. His magic was so powerful that he was able to bring out so many spirits, and with the assistance of all these spirits, he was able to do so much. And even the sepulchres were kept open. The dead bodies came out from there, walked out from where it was kept for the permanent or the eternal sleep. They came out. Though my magic is such a powerful one, I am going to abjure it. I am going to give it up. But I need some music. They always, the magicians in those days, they used to start anything with the sweet music as well as they end up the things with the sweet music. So therefore now Prospero desires to have a music over there. Let's see once again what he speaks. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required and when I have asked some heavenly music, I have to end up, I will ask for some heavenly music in order to end up my potent magic power. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, a hyphen is placed immediately after that, which even now I do, which I ask at this moment, which even now I do to work mine and upon, in order to end upon. See, to work mine, to carry out, end upon, to carry out my last design, my last work. When I have to end up my last design, I need to have some music. The end part, I need to have some music. And their senses that this airy charm is for, the entire meaning is explained in number 58-59. The senses of those for whose benefits this magic spell is intended. The magic spell is intended only for that particular purpose. Prospero speaks here, which even now I do to work mine end upon. Their sense that the airy charm is for. I will break my staff. He says that he is going to break once that comes to an end. Once he is going to end up his magic power. What is he planning to do next? He says that he is going to break the magic rod. Once again, let us proceed to that part. I will break my staff and bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and I will be burying it certain fathoms in the earth. One fathom is 60 feet. Certain fathoms. I am going to bury my magic rod so deep. That is what he speaks over here. Fathoms, not 60 feet. So many fathoms. One fathom is 60 feet. So he is going to bury, after breaking his staff, after breaking his magic rod, he says that he is going to bury it certain fathoms deep. And deeper than did ever plummet sound, I will drown my book. First he said what he is going to do with his magic rod. He is going to bury it certain fathoms deep on the earth. In the earth he is going to bury it. And what is he going to do with his magic book? That is what he speaks now. And deeper than did ever plummet sound. The meaning of the word plummet is explained in number 61. That is the weighted line used for measuring the depth of water. The sailors, in order to understand the depth of the water, they make use of a plumber lead. plummet. So that is what he speaks, and that was the deepest part of the ocean. So he says what he means to speak over here is he is going to bury the magic book even the deepest part of the ocean. Once again, let us proceed to that part. He further says, I will break my staff. I am going to break my magic rod, bury it certain fathom in the earth, which I am going to bury in the earth, certain fathom beneath the earth. That is what he is going to do with his magic rod. And deeper than did ever plummet sound, I will drown my book. I am going to deeply, I am going to keep I will sing my magic book. That is what he speaks over here. I will sing my magic book, where certain that is the deeper and the deepest part of the ocean, where even the sound of the plummet does not reach. Such kind of deep area, he says he is going to drown his boat. Time we see the entry of a solemn music is heard, and let's see re-enter Ariel. After him, Alonso with a frantic gesture, attended by Gonzalo, Sebastian and Antonio in like manner, attended by Adrian and Francisco. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and there stand charmed, which Prospero observing speaks. We know it was the time of the soliloquy of Prospero. In the beginning part, we saw that Prospero started appreciating all the spirits that helped him one or the other way in order to help him to carry out his task. He did not forget about any spirit, even the tiniest spirit. He appreciates very greatly. That is what we saw in today's class. Though you appear to be very weak and small, with your assistance, even I was able to dim the sun at noon. That is what Prospero spoke. With your assistance, though you seem to be very weak, with your assistance I was able to create lightning, thunder and all kinds of situations. I was able to make even the uproot cedar as well as the pine tree which grew over there in the cliff. All those things I was able to do. So that was the way he started appreciating all the spirits that helped him in one way or the other. And as he was going on, but he says that, and he appreciated his own magic, stating that with my magic power, I was able to keep the sepulchre to be kept open, from where the eternal sleepers, that is the dead bodies, I was able to bring them out. Such is the power of my magic, but I am going to abjure it. I am going to end up all my magic power, and I am going to break. My purpose came to an end, and I am going to break my magic rod, which I am going to bury so many fathoms deep in the land. And my magic book, I am going to bury deep inside the deepest part of the ocean. That is what he spoke, and that is the exact moment a solemn music was heard. The music that is created by Ariel. A small solemn music which was heard, and we see the re-entry of Ariel. And immediately behind Ariel, after him we see Alonso the king with a frantic gesture. Panic situation, totally fear-stricken situation Alonso was in. Alonso with a frantic gesture, attended by Gonzalo. Immediately behind Alonso we see Gonzalo. Then Sebastian and Antonio in like manner. They are all in like manner. Like manner over here means with a frantic gesture. Alonso, Gonzalo, Sebastian and Antonio all are in a panic-stricken situation. They are in a frantic mood. Attended by Adrian and Francisco, the two lords. And immediately behind Antonio, we see both the lords, that is Adrian and Francisco, follow them. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made. Prospero had already made a circle in front of his cell, and they were standing there. All of them stood there. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and there stand charmed. They were totally charmed by the magic spell of Prospero, which Prospero observing speaks. Prospero observes all of them. Prospero observes the situation they are all in. the pathetic and the painful situation, all of them including Alonso, then Gonzalo, Sebastian, Antonio, Adrian and Francisco. He observes all of them, and after having observed them, Prospero once again speaks. Let's see what Prospero speaks here. A solemn air and the best comforter to an unstrained fancy. He says that such a solemn music. The solemn music is heard. Ariel has already created a kind of soft, beautiful music. And they were following behind they all followed the music, and now observing all of them in the frantic situation, Prospero continues. He says, a solemn air. Solemn air over here means the solemn music and the best comforter. That is the best remedy. The solemn music, the soft music is the only or the best remedy. That is what the best comforter to an unsettled fancy. Unsettled over here means to the distracted imagination, to a distracted mind. The best remedy is the beautiful music. Prospero observing all of them in the frantic situation, he says, the best remedy for a distracted mind, for the distracted imagination, the best remedy is the soft music. Cure their brains, and their brains over there means troubled mind. Their mind which is totally confused and troubled will be healed by the solemn music. Now useless, the mind, he says their brain which is now useless. Useless over here means incapable of any action. Their minds cannot do anything at all independently now, because they are under the magic spell of Prospero. Therefore he here speaks, solemn music is the best comforter. That is what he said in the beginning. A solemn air and is the best comforter. That is the best remedy to an unsettled fancy, to the distracted imagination. To the distracted imagination, the best remedy is the solemn music. Cure the brains, which is the best cure for the troubled mind. That is what the brain over here means. Cure thy brains, now useless. Their brain which is now incapable of any action. Their brain is quite useless now. Boiled with thy skull. Boiled means which is filled with, boiled with their brains which are totally filled with anger inside the skull. There stand, and all of them are standing there in that situation. He tells all of them to stand there. That is what their stand. Their stand means you all stand there, for you are spell stopped. Spell stopped over means you are immobilized by my magic. You cannot move at all because of my magic power. With your purpose, your intention, you will not be able to move at all, because you are affected by my magic spell. That is what Prospero speaks to all of them there. Let us stop here, but once again, let us recollect what have we seen today. Prospero's soliloquy, we have seen the soliloquy of Prospero. Prospero was still going on praising the spirits, the smaller one, which have helped him in one way or the other. So many spirits that have helped Prospero one way or the other. At the same time, he has not forgotten about the task or the help they have done to Prospero, that made Prospero to appreciate all the spirits, and from the heart, Prospero appreciated all the spirits, and he even appreciated his own magic power, stating that my magic has got such kind of tremendous power within it. Even the dead bodies can be called out from the place where it has its own eternal rest. And ultimately he says, though so much of power my magic has, I am going to abjure it. I am going to end up all my magic power. And because his purpose is totally accomplished, and he says that after stopping my magic power, I will break my magic rod, and I will bury it fathoms deep on the land, in the land. And my magic book, which I will be throwing over there in the deepest part of the ocean, where the plumbers even will not be able to reach. Such kind of the deepest part of the ocean, I am going to bury my magic book, even the magic book as well as the magic rod. Nobody else will be able to use it. That is the purpose. He says that one he is going to bury in the land, and another one he is going to throw it in the deeper part of the ocean, which nobody will be, from where nobody will be able to take it out at all. That is what Prospero says. And after that, he observed, he heard a solemn music, and it was a music produced by Ariel and all the others, that is Alonso, then Gonzalo, Sebastian, Antonio, together with the two lords, that is Adrian and Francisco. All of them came over there, but their mind was totally distracted. They were frantic. Prospero observes all of them, and Prospero tells them to stand there, because you are controlled by my magic power. You wait there. You are bound by my magic power. And they all remain in the place, in the circle. There was a circle which was made by Prospero. All of them remain there in the circle which is made by Prospero in front of his cell. We'll stop here for the day, and we'll continue the rest in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.